have to admit to being rather biased when it comes to black and white Springer boys. My lovely Billy sleeps on my feet and spends a lot of his life now grumping around the house. The grumping is a simple deterrent to stop Neville pulling his ears and trying to make best friends out of him, as would a besotted 12-year-old boy pull a girl's pigtails. But obviously, Neville is not a little girl, but you should get the idea. Eddie is a completely different kettle of fish, though. Named after my paternal grandfather, he was a brilliant redhead, champion boxer and bank manager for Barclays in the East End of London. They were, and are, both men of great stature. Eddie's main enjoyment in life is following me around. Usually a few paces behind me, with the stealth of a panther, he takes his day job very seriously. Firstly, he must pre-warn me of any advancing parties towards the front gate. This involves barking, a lot of barking, and when people in infinite kindness then try and make friends with him, he scoots off backwards as though they are carrying the bubonic plague. He then insists on herding them into my shed-cum office, whether they like it or not, and then proceeds to fall on his back, legs akimbo, and insist on 100% attention from the visitors. At this point, the thought of plague-carrying humans is furthest from his mind, as he carefully dollops his attention out equally around the room. They have, in his mind, only come to see him. His next job is showing the new people his estate, which basically entails Ringo, the guard, being highly annoyed by him and flirting with the girl dogs, which upsets Ringo very much, since he, quite rightly, is their main man. Never mind the fact he is twice their size and a different breed. He looks after them, and he has an army of doting girls smiling up at him. I have completely given up locking Eddie up anywhere. His devotion to me is so strong, he decided a few months ago to vacate the house from an upstairs window. He scuttled down the wall, taking part of the windowsill with him, landing below on the paving stones and off to find me. I know all these details since the poor Matilda was busily concocting something out of feathers, plasters, that's where they all go to, and flowers underneath the said window. The long squeal of horror from my daughter caused glasses to shatter, Richard to look up from his meticulous planting of something, and my mother's hearing aid to vibrate like mad. But he was fine, and since he can open every door latch in the house, I just let him be with me now. I don't mind at all. He is normally asleep on a chair next to me, curled up on my feet, guarding me, or sitting with me, body upright, pressed up hard against my leg as feasibly possible, so even a twitch of my leg muscle gets him poised for action. His only downside is that he'll only have al fresco sex, and since he is our one and only Springer stud dog, this means I spend a lot of time peering round corners so as not to disturb him in the art of love. Once he is tied to his mate, it normally starts to pour with rain and a Tesco delivery man turns up. Otherwise, he is perfect. He is completely trustworthy with even newborn puppies. With the bigger ones, he lays patiently there as they use him as a fluffy climbing frame and pull his ears. With his own daughters, he is quite amazing. While they eat, he will stand with them, not touching his own food until they have safely finished their meal without any pesky interlopers, Neville basically, barging in. He is an absolute hero with the young dogs. They seem to find it vitally important to get his attention in any which way they can, and there he sits, waiting until they get bored of jumping up and around him, and then sinks back down with a resigned sigh. Eddie's best friend is my lovely Willow. They grew up together and are childhood sweethearts, and she is a bit of a tomboy and can give Eddie a serious run for his money. They play like ninjas, dancing, flipping into the air, their bodies cavorting like starlings as they fly up and around each other. I always find myself too enthralled in it to get round to videoing it. One day, though. One day. His father is the great Helmsway Heath, a champion through and through. I was lucky to be entrusted with Eddie, and I hope I'm doing this pedigree line proud. His daughters carry his signature. We have 3 at the moment, Skye, Whisper and River. They all bark wildly at people they don't know. I don't actually think they know why they do it, it's just so ingrained into them, and they all do the sideways shuffle when they're particularly pleased to see you. So whoever says Springers are nuts are very, very wrong. Some are, but not many, and the misguided need to meet Eddie. Handsome, clever, he lead and house-trained himself, quiet in the house, and raring to go and have fun when out. You really cannot ask for more.